Now, how about we have a joint property? Can I write a will?
If you have a joint property, it's one of two things. You could have a joint will, but a joint will apply where all your properties are together, are jointly owned. All. That is rarely so. So you can have a joint will. You could also have separate wills. If, for instance, it's just one property you both own,
Okay.
then in your separate wills, you could say, well, whoever passes on first, whoever passes on first, the property now goes to the other person.
Okay.
But then, truth is, it depends on how that joint title has been drafted. Because we have what is called property owned in common, separate from property owned jointly. They're different. In one case, the property owned, jointly, the way it works is that if one individual passes on, the property goes to the second person.
Yeah.
But property in common is different. If one person passes on, his own proportion of that property will go to his own dependents or whoever he decides. So the way title documents have been crafted is also very important.
It's also very important. And what if I have properties outside the shores of Islam? Can I include them in my will?
Yes. Now, in that situation, we need to look at the laws applicable in that country.
Okay.
Because probably this person is domiciled in, say, Nigeria. He has one or two properties in the UK. In that situation, we'll first of all check out to be sure of the laws there, the tax regime, and all of that, to know whether we'll have one will in Nigeria encompassing all property, or we'll have one in Nigeria and one in the other place. So we'll have to look at that critically.
That means if I write a will now and I acquire some property, in another 5 years, I need to change my will.
Not necessarily. Now, this is how it works. You have the principal will. If you have a few changes, minor changes, you may not need to redraft the will all over. You could have what you call a codicil. A codicil is an amendment to the will.
Okay.
However, when you're beginning to have more than one codicil, lots of changes, it's better we do the will all over again. And that is why a will is called the last will and testament. It means there could be quite a number of them. So the date will now distinguish which is the most recent, and that one is the one that applies at the point of death.
Apart from having dementia and other mental incapabilities that can warrant contesting of the will, what other factors could really contribute to
age?
Contested?
Age is an important factor, because if you are a minor, you cannot draft a will, except if that minor is a seaman or maybe even an airman.
Oh.
Now, these are and miners and so on. Professions that have special
age brackets.
No, it's not even the age brackets, where you have the possibility of fatalities.
Okay.
Yes. So if you have someone who's a minor in that situation, he's permitted to have a will. Yes.
Even in our land.
Oh yes. We have the Wills Act.
Okay.
Yes, it operates in Nigeria.
Okay.
It's stated therein.
Okay, so
yes.
Dementia, age.
Yes. If there's fraud, if there's cohesion, what do you call it? Coercion. If a person has been coerced into doing a will, it can be invalidated. Yes. Yes. It has to be voluntary.
Okay.
A will must be voluntary.
In a situation where the man has a woman outside of marriage, has born him children, and then at his death, she comes and wants to lay claim. What happens in that?
In that case, no will? Is that, I'm asking, is in that...
Assuming no will.
Okay, that's that. Because if there's a will, then there's no issue.
She'll probably be settled.
How? Well, and if she's not settled, that's it. Okay? But if there's no will, and he has children here and there, different women, well, what ordinarily should happen is that they all cooperate and apply for letters of administration. It sounds simple. Letters of administration can be stressful to process, time consuming, very stressful and expensive. It takes time, sometimes 6 months, sometimes 1 year or more.
Wow.
Yes.
Just waiting for
Yes.
that.
Yes.
And nothing can be done with the property unless that comes.
No. You can't have access to anything in the banks.
Wow.
You cannot access his pension and all of that. You must have either a will or letters of administration. So they should cooperate. When you're processing letters of administration, you have administrators of the estate.
Yeah.
So we have what you call idigi in Yoruba land,
Okay.
where there are 3 mothers, for instance.
Yeah.
So you could take a child from each mother as administrators,
Okay.
yeah, and process the letters of administration thereby.
Wow.
But sometimes it gets to court when there's no agreement.
And then whatever the judge decides.
Oh yes, and then of course you could also have cases where somebody just sprouts, as it were,
Yeah.
after the death of the individual, and you are saying, no, we don't know you. And he or she can watch out in the dailies for when the letters of administration will be publicized, and he can put a caveat on it. Yes. So eventually a court will have to decide on the way forward.
And the caveat?
A caveat is an impediment, you know, to issuing the letters of administration. Yes.
Wow. So, thank you very much, Madam Titi. I believe you have thrown so much light on this topic. And I believe we have not even scratched the surface. I believe we are not sure. But I hope that when next we come, you will kindly oblige us as you have done today.
Anytime.
Thank you so much. You have been listening to Madam Titi Adegbile, and she has been helping us to understand that putting our house in order is not an indication of death, but wisdom. We'll go on a break, and when we come back, we'll move on to the game section. Stay with us.
Welcome to the first ever Nollywood Industry Night.
Time for us to talk music right here on Top 10 African Kids on AE.
Mama, you know the level.
I think it's about to start.
What's up, people? My name is BOYAW, and this minute you watch AETV.
You were watching AETV Live. Keep watching AETV Live.
Keep watching AETV for more. It's your girl Avanti.
Thanks for watching AETV.
Thanks for watching AETV.
Thanks for watching AETV.
Thanks, AETV. I like you guys.
Thanks for watching AETV. Keep it up.
Watch it. Have it on a lockdown. AETV.
You are watching AETV Live.
Remain glued to your screen.